a great game to watch. What sort of a game was it to stand and watch as a manager?
It's one of them games where you know what's going to be taken into it, but the longer it goes on, it's nip and tuck. It's a roller coaster. It's probably hard to keep your own composure in it. There's so many battles going on when a game's that tight that you're nearly starting a firefight all across the pitch, and you're looking at where you can make changes to affect it a wee bit more positive. I thought we started again, yet another championship game. We were a wee bit more tentative, and that's probably something we're trying to get out of our play, is to start a wee bit more on the front foot. We do tend to come into it in the last 15 a wee bit more like that, but when you start like that, I suppose it transfers to the line, it gets a wee bit nervy. But no, look, you're confident that the quality that's there with our boys, they will come good and they will step up, and they did that at the right time, thankfully, albeit the last 5-10 minutes. So happy enough.
Skinner obviously scored a lot during the league, and how do you prepare coming into a game knowing is he on or is he not? You know, it's two completely different scenarios.
I think you've always just got to, like we did, and there's no point telling lies. You plan that he's going to be playing. We had no reason to believe he wasn't going to be playing. So you have to consider some matchups, and we put a bit of work into looking at that. But Glenullin is more than the Skinner show, maybe, as was written last week or the last couple of weeks. We wouldn't pay them that disrespect to say that they're a one-man team. They showed tonight the problems that they caused with the 5 or 6 inside forwards. Very, very hard to track movement. Big pitch suited them as well as it suited us. We struggled. You seen for the penalty, we had 2 or 3 men there trying to stop one runner. We couldn't do it. So Skinner's obviously a big focal point for any team, and he's no doubt a big loss for them. But I didn't think they lacked an awful pile, if I'm being honest, with him not being there, and that's no disrespect to him. He's obviously a fantastic footballer, but no, we had our fill of it without him. So
he's responded well to their goals.
We did. That was probably the one thing I said there, Mal, at the end was you talk about the ebbs and flows of, I still can't get my head around what way it is with best place runner up, but I suppose you're always trying to look at every game that if you're going to win it, you want to win it by the most margin as possible. But I'd nearly rather won that game and scraped up a point tonight than coming out 9-10 point winners, because the character that the lads showed, and we obviously have a young team, as you know, that'll stand to them boys, you know. The character to dig deep, being 3 or 4 points down going in the last 5 minutes, you couldn't ask for more. Doesn't do an awful pile for our heart rate in the line, but the boys, especially the younger lads, you know, young McMullan there, he's only 17. Like he takes a ball, he's probably quiet by his standards all night. He runs 20 yards, wins us a free to clip the win and score. Magic, you know, and that kind of opportunity to test your character, that's worth more than 9-10 point wins, to be honest.
He's created plenty of goal chances. I know he's needed the goalpost up there to help you, but he's created plenty yourselves.
We did, yeah, you could say that for both teams, but certainly that's an area that we definitely need to improve on. Like our defence, we've put an awful lot of work into stopping shipping goals, but in front of goals, although we have notched up decent enough scores to win games, we haven't been clinical enough, particularly under the crossbar. So something we'll always try and work on. We have the quality to do it, and again, there's a lot of young boys playing on that inside forward line and in the half forward line, so they'll improve. It just takes more games and experience.
He's conceded a lot of goals in the league. What did change, or was it something Niall Keenan, or did he just regroup? Or
no, I mean, very unfair to label it Niall Keenan. Niall was massive there again tonight. I think he was another man that was pivotal probably in that last 10-minute spell. I think he was responsible for maybe 3 turnovers and set us up in the attack. But you look at the boys that we've been missing all year. What I would say as well, Mal, is that like not all clubs, but definitely ourselves, we used the league to our advantage this year. Like, it's an opportunity to blood young players. We're fortunate in Castledawson, we have a good clattering of them coming through. It's ideal. Like, if you're not going to use it this year when the league doesn't really mean much, in all honesty, then you're wasting an opportunity. So we did that, but the reality of why we've improved defensively is that those boys that were maybe out and missing games and injured, they've come back in, they've worked hard on their fitness away from the collective sessions, and you've seen there that like the performance Brian Ludlow, Manus, McAllister, he was missing for a good chunk of the year. Like, they add a hell of a lot in there too. Rory Keane at centre half back, massive. And
finally brung Scully back on, and he kicks you 2 points. When you missed 3 or 4 chances, did you feel it was going away?
Yeah, I think, look, in the pressure of championship football, sometimes I think you just need to maybe take a piece off, put a leg for leg on, and then assess how you're going to rejig. I think that's what we done with Skull. We were always planning on bringing him back in there, but it was where he was going to get be most effective. His role changed tonight, as you know, that he'd been playing most of this year. It was a wee bit more advanced, and we probably took him out of the game. But Conor Scullion's a class act. He's probably in the shape of his life, and he comes back on, and to me, it wins the game of football there. You know, so delighted with him. He's not too delighted with me that I took him off, but I'm delighted with him when he came back on.
Thanks very much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.